Rediscovering self-worth after experiences of low self-esteem requires wisdom, strength, and compassion. When self-criticism or insecurity have depleted our sense of value, how can we cultivate self-love? The Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece and Rome offer timeless guidance. By avoiding toxic mindsets, we can develop resilience to overcome self-doubt and embrace our inherent worth. In this video, I will share 12 techniques for regaining self-esteem and self-love, drawing from centuries of Stoic insights. From managing comparisons to quieting your inner critic, this ancient wisdom helps rebuild a loving relationship with yourself. By steering clear of distorted notions that feed low self-worth, we make space for self-acceptance to flourish once again. I appreciate you all watching. Now let's embark on reclaiming your worth. Stay focused throughout as we explore the 12 Stoic keys to moving beyond self-judgment and into greater self-compassion and wisdom. Number 1. Find triggers for negative self-talk and limit them. One of the keys to regaining self-esteem and self-love is minimizing the situations that spark your inner critic. Pay attention to the people, places, or activities that tend to precede negative self-judgment. For example, being around certain overly critical friends or family members may consistently lead you to feel bad about yourself. Or reading fashion magazines might trigger comparing yourself negatively to airbrushed models. Make a list of the experiences that reliably ignite demeaning internal dialogues. Once you've identified these self-esteem saboteurs, try to limit your exposure to them. That may mean distancing yourself from toxic relationships, putting away magazines that breed insecurity, or avoiding websites that draw you into unproductive social comparison. If you can't fully eliminate a trigger, at least be aware of it so you can consciously guard against destructive self-talk when facing unavoidable situations. The less you engage with sources of negative perspective, the easier it will be to sustain positive self-regard. Remember, you have the power to curate your environment to nurture self-love rather than self-criticism. By minimizing contact with triggers, you can reduce their capacity to undermine your self-worth. Your well-being comes first. Number 2, challenge black and white thinking. Our inner critic often engages in simplistic, extreme categorization. I'm either a total success or a complete failure. This distorted black or white perspective leaves no room for more realistic self-assessment. When you catch yourself making blanket judgments about your self-worth, pause and add nuance. Rather than deciding you're an absolute success or failure, take a more balanced view. Ask yourself questions like, did I succeed at some aspects of this situation and fall short on others? What specific things did I do well or poorly? How can I improve on weaknesses while recognizing strengths? See yourself in shades of gray rather than stark categories of good or bad. Perfectionism feeds negative self-judgment, while a nuanced perspective allows room for growth. The philosopher Wittgenstein stated, "Don't think in terms absolutes. Avoid that habit, it is bad for the mind." Compartmentalize self-criticism rather than globalizing it. Judge your actions, not your being. Adding subtlety and context softens harsh inner judgments. By avoiding simplistic failure labels, you undercut their destructive power over your self-esteem. Number 3. Make self-care a priority, not a luxury. When your inner critic is active, self-care often falls by the wayside. The negative self-talk convinces you that you don't deserve rest, relaxation, or enjoyment. This is a dangerous path. Make self-care a non-negotiable foundation for your life, not an indulgence. Set aside time each day for nourishing activities that recharge you. Do things simply because they feel good and affirm your worth. Go for a long walk in nature, Take yourself out to a nice meal, indulge in a massage, sit in peaceful meditation. Plan mini getaways where your only mission is enjoying yourself. The Roman poet Ovid wisely stated, "Take rest. A field that has rested gives a bountiful crop." When you consistently prioritize healthy enjoyment, it powerfully offsets critical inner voices about your undeservingness. Self-care ceases to feel like a luxury and instead becomes integral to your sense of wholeness. Treat yourself with the same compassion you would a dear friend. Make caring for yourself a sacred duty, not something you do only after pleasing others. Keep your cup full. The understanding that you intrinsically deserve self-nourishment is the foundation for esteem. Number 4, practice mindfulness to be present in the moment. Make it a daily habit to bring your full attention to the present moment. Set aside time to sit in quiet meditation, focusing completely on your breathing. Feel the air entering and leaving your lungs. Listen closely to sounds around you, birds chirping, wind rustling, cars passing. Go for mindful walks where you intentionally tune in to the sights, smells, and textures around you. Feel the ground beneath your feet and the sun on your skin. Don't allow your mind to wander aimlessly into regrets about the past or worries about the future. Keep guiding it back to sensory details of the here and now. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely stated, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. When you notice your thoughts spiraling into rumination, gently return your focus to the present. Engage your senses, squeeze a stress ball, smell some flowers, pop a mint in your mouth, touch a soft blanket. Make present moment mindfulness a consistent part of your daily routine, not just during formal meditation sessions. Do ordinary tasks like washing dishes, folding laundry, or walking the dog with complete focused presence. Keep anchoring yourself in the only place where life is actually happening, this moment. Training your mind to be fully engaged with the present will gradually weaken the grip of unproductive rumination. Number 5, replace negative tapes with empowering messages. One powerful habit that can improve self-esteem is to actively reframe negative thoughts into positive affirmations. When you notice self-doubt or insecurity entering your mind, consciously replace it with an uplifting message. Here are some examples of how to put this into practice. Rather than thinking, "I'm not smart enough to succeed," tell yourself, "I believe in my abilities and grow stronger each day." Instead of, "Nothing I do is ever good enough," affirm, "I am enough just as I am." Rather than, "I don't deserve to be happy," empower yourself by saying, "My unique talents add value to the world." Make your affirmations encouraging statements targeted to address your specific insecurities. Repeat them aloud, write them down, or record audio to listen to when needed. This practice trains your mind to think more positively over time. As the Roman philosopher Marcus Aurelius stated, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." Guide your thoughts to affirm your worth through targeted positive messaging. With consistency, these empowering new mental tapes will transform how you see yourself and strengthen self-esteem. Number 6, take small risks and get comfortable being uncomfortable. Start with minor challenges that push you just outside your boundaries. Each time you successfully take a small risk, you prove to yourself that you can handle uncertainty and embarrassment. This gradually strengthens the neural pathways underlying self-assurance. As the ancient Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely stated, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Leaning into small discomforts exercises your confidence like lifting weights, builds muscles. Don't take reckless risks that endanger your well-being, but understand that minor discomfort is the price of admission for a more fulfilling life. Continue to incrementally expand your risks over time, Give a toast at a wedding. Learn to sail. Perform stand-up comedy. The more you live and take chances beyond your habitual fears and self-doubt, the more capability and resilience you will uncover within yourself. Your comfort zone will expand. As the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius stated, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Leaning into small discomforts exercises your confidence like lifting weights builds muscles. Number 7. Cultivate healthy friendships. The company we keep can have a major impact on our self-esteem for better or worse. That's why it's important to build friendships that affirm your worth and make you feel accepted. Seek out relationships that help you feel good about yourself, people who celebrate your strengths, overlook your flaws, and bring out your best qualities. Spend less time with those who constantly criticize you or undermine your self-confidence. Nurture friendships that provide mutual understanding and support. Share meaningful experiences and be vulnerable with each other. As the Stoic Seneca said, we should choose in life a few faithful friends, that the honor we receive from them may outweigh the damage done by the multitude. Surround yourself with positive people who cherish you. Their belief in you reflects back and reinforces your belief in yourself. Uplifting friends can help quiet your inner critic. Make sure to return the favor by supporting your friends' self-esteem as well. Express appreciation for their gifts. Compliment them. Validate their worth. By cultivating mutual growth and care, you create bonds that heal and strengthen your sense of self. Number 8. Curate your social media feeds. In our hyper-connected world, social media has an enormous impact on self-image and self-esteem. That's why it's crucial to curate feeds that nourish your sense of self-worth. Actively seek out accounts that motivate you to grow, spread kindness, or create beauty. Follow diverse role models who inspire self-acceptance. Uplifting content will gradually counterbalance negativity in your feeds. Conversely, unfollow accounts that promote toxic messaging or idealized perfectionism. Any sources that breed self-doubt through social comparison are not serving your well-being. Declutter your feeds of these downward spirals. Limit consumption of glossy influencers and celebrities. Remind yourself that carefully curated images don't show real life. As Epictetus stated, "Remember that it is not enough to be hit or insulted to be harmed. You must believe that you are being harmed." If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. By being selective about who and what you follow, you control what influences your self-perception. Cultivate feeds that affirm your worth rather than undermine it. The roots of self-esteem grow in nurturing environments. Tend to your digital gardens wisely. Number 9. Celebrate how far you've come. It's important to take time to recognize how far you've come in life. Make it a habit to reflect on previous versions of yourself and chapters you've navigated. See how you've developed self-knowledge, skills, courage, and perseverance along the way. Catalog your accomplishments, overcoming addictions, learning new hobbies, ending toxic relationships, achieving career goals. Revisiting old journal entries and photos can help appreciate the journey. When you acknowledge your personal growth, you gain appreciation for your inner fortitude. Setbacks that once destroyed you, you now have strength to withstand. Celebrating progress builds self-trust and motivates further positive change. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Don't lose yourself in the past or the future. The mind that observes the present will find contentment in what it has here and now." Find contentment in how far you've come and who you are today. Your life reveals an expanding capacity for wisdom and resilience that is worth celebrating. Number 10. Find activities that make you lose track of time. Engaging in hobbies, projects, and pursuits that light you up from the inside is a powerful way to cultivate self-esteem. When you're doing activities you're passionate about, you tap into a state of flow. In flow, you become immersed in the task at hand, losing self-consciousness and a sense of time. You feel challenged but capable, engaged and energized. Seek out creative endeavors, sports, hobbies, or volunteer work that induce this optimal state. As you devote yourself to pursuits that resonate with your authentic interests and talents, your self-esteem flourishes. You have tangible proof of your gifts and abilities. Share your creations and accomplishments to reinforce self-belief. Passion projects also counter the voice of the inner critic by quieting repetitive thinking patterns. As Roman philosopher Seneca stated, "The mind unoccupied is a mind distressed." Keep your mind creatively occupied with activities that make time fly by. When you engage your gifts meaningfully, you stop looking externally for approval and validation. You cultivate self-assurance from doing what you love. Let your passions be the compass that guides you towards self-fulfillment. Number 11. Volunteer to help those less fortunate. Volunteering your time, resources, and skills to help people in need is a powerful way to boost self-esteem. Helping others connects you to purpose larger than yourself. It cultivates gratitude for what you have and perspective about what really matters in life. Look for volunteer opportunities related to causes you care about: poverty, education, homelessness, animals, environmental protection, youth mentoring, etc. Serve meals at a soup kitchen, build houses for Habitat for Humanity, tutor children at an after-school program, or work at an animal shelter. Contributing your gifts gives meaning and self-worth. As Roman philosopher Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness." Find opportunities to be kind through volunteering. Helping people facing major life challenges also reinforces gratitude for your own situation. No matter how difficult things may seem for you, there are always people dealing with far greater hardships. Volunteering nurtures appreciation. Offer your time and talents to make a positive difference in others' lives. In the process, you'll make a profound difference in your own life and self-esteem. Number 12. Write a letter forgiving yourself. An effective way to cultivate self-compassion and boost self-esteem is to write a loving forgiveness letter to yourself. Set aside time to get centered and reflect with honesty on ways you have judged yourself harshly. Think of instances where you caused harm to others or failed to live up to your values. Consider any external circumstances that may have contributed to your actions. With clarity around these past mistakes, begin writing a letter to yourself, expressing understanding, kindness, and forgiveness. Speak to yourself as you would a beloved friend who is dealing with similar regrets and self-criticism. Validate that you have flaws and have made mistakes, as all humans do. We are imperfect works in progress, constantly learning as we go. Affirm that while your actions may have been hurtful or misguided, you are still worthy of self-forgiveness and love. Offer yourself empathy and wisdom rather than judgment. Encourage yourself to focus energy on personal growth rather than berating yourself for the past. Renew your commitment to making positive changes moving forward. Finish the letter by affirming your inherent worth, courage, and resolve. Let go of the guilt you carry and look ahead with compassion. Seal the letter and keep it somewhere to read when you need reminder of self-forgiveness. Regular practice of this loving-kindness meditation cultivates the self-compassion that is the foundation for unconditional self-worth. As the Roman Stoic Seneca wisely stated, "Be your own witness, and you'll be judge, jury, and partner." Thank you so much for watching this video on the 12 Stoic techniques for regaining self-esteem and self-love. I hope you found this advice empowering as you navigate rebuilding a compassionate relationship with yourself. If you enjoyed this ancient wisdom, please like and subscribe for more videos unpacking Stoic philosophies that can help transform our lives. I appreciate your support. Also consider sharing this video with friends or loved ones who may find value in these strategies for overcoming self-doubt and cultivating inner strength and resilience. The more we help uplift each other, the more we uplift ourselves. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video as we continue to explore the enduring power of Stoic teachings. Until then, stay strong, stay true, and may you all find peace and serenity in the Stoic ways.